What's up, guys? I am your girl Shay, and we are back with another College Heal. This is episode 4. Again, I am behind. Forgive me. I do apologize. But let's just jump straight into it. The episode opens up straight with Saucy, right where we left off last week. Saucy, he went out with his tutor. And so he comes back in the house at 5:16 in the morning. Like, okay, cool. Cool. I'm cool with it. It's 5:16. Cool. But then he comes in the house bothering people. He goes and open Claudia's door. She's like, oh my God. Then he go, China wakes up. He goes in Nick's room with a flashlight, talking about Nick, you sleep. It's 5:16 in the morning. Yes, I'm asleep. What the hell? Like, come on, dude. You're drunk. Go to bed. Like, why are you disturbing them? They're taking this serious. You're not. We get it. Cool. Go to bed. Like, my boy just he did the most, and it really got on my nerve. Only for the next morning, this is you. Only for the next morning, this you. You laid out sleep. Everybody else getting up, getting ready to go to class, and you in here sleep naked. Like, they up first. So Nick and Carlos, they're up first, and they're talking about Saucy coming in and waking them up and disturbing them. It's Sunday morning, so he went out on a Saturday night, guys. Okay, we didn't know that before. So he went out on a Saturday night, which is fine. You can go out on a Saturday, but I'm sure you knew that you guys had somewhere to go on Sunday as a field trip for a class assignment, and you just didn't care about it. You know, you just didn't care about it. So, needless to say, Saucy ain't going. He not going on this trip. He in there talking about he needs some Pepto Bismol, and he waiting on no. This wouldn't. I don't even know if this was the time where he was talking about he waiting on production to bring him some Pepto Bismol or not, because that's just how much Saucy does not show up to anything. Like, he hasn't even been back to cheer practice. So, like, whatever. So, anywho, they get to the plantation, and this is Dr. Sick. They are visiting the Whitney Plantation, and just even from watching it, you can just feel the energy. All of them, the cast are talking about just the overall energy that you can feel from just being on the plantation. It's very different from hearing about it or seeing it on television, actually being in on the same grounds that our ancestors were on, this, the actual land of actual slaves. So, it was, a really good scene. The one thing I do enjoy about these College Hill experiences um is that we get to see and be I can't even think of the word. You know, we get to experience new things, that we hadn't seen before. Long day, guys, long day. So they visit one of the cabins, and then they see one of the cabins that was a place for punishment. Just overall, it was just very, very touching. This is a monument that they built for kids, for the enslaved kids. Um, Now, I did go to a African school. I went to Adiambo School, Children of the Sun, for elementary, well, from 3 to 12, or yeah, to 12. And we learned all about slavery, our history, where we come from. Lift Every Voice and Sing was a song we sung every single morning. I sung that song every morning that I went to school from 3 years old until the time I left there. So, Lift Every Voice and Sing being the Black national anthem to everybody else now, it's very funny to me, because it's been the Black national anthem for me my entire life. But it's good to see the song making, its way. But for me, If you don't sing it in the same stanza, the same way that we sung it at Adiambo, it just don't hit the same. Even when Beyonce sung it at Homecoming, I was like, this isn't how I sung this song every morning before devotion. So for devotion. So, but I digress. Anywho, this monument, it was what we did. I said all of that to say what I don't remember, and maybe we learned it, but Dr. Seck made, let them know that during slavery, at the age of 10, you're now considered an adult, or not necessarily an adult, but at 10, you is the age that you can be sold off from your parents. And yeah, I don't like it. At 10, I still needed my mama. Like, I still slept in the bed with my mama at 10. I know I did. I ain't gonna lie. Only child, I know I was still in the bed with my mama at 10. So yeah, I am grateful to our ancestors for everything that they put up with and then had to endure so that we did not have to endure those things, because I wouldn't have made it. Like, you take me away from my mama, mm-mm, I'm done. So Carlos does a spoken word poem, and then from there, Tamar sings "This Little Light of Mine." Very, 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 very touching. She felt the spirit and she started to sing, and it's always wonderful when Tamar blessed us with her voice, and then everyone joined in. Yeah, it was really good. It was a really good experience. Really, really hate that Saucy did not go. Um, I think he could have learned and benefited a lot from that experience. So another one he missed out on. So they get back to the house, and Nick goes to try and talk to Saucy outside, and that conversation just completely goes left. Mind you, Nick says nothing disrespectful to him. He's just telling him, like, you need to come to class. You need to take this stuff more serious. Like, you are Saucy Santana. You're a boss. You are all of these things, but you need to take this serious. Like, you can do this. You can conquer this. And Saucy tells him, just because you can't play, you can't do a jump shot no more. You don't play ball no more. Or something like, I still got the gift of gab in me. Like, what the fuck? Come on. Like, why was that warranted? Why it was not warranted? And then you had so much to say when Carlos stood up and bucked at him, but then you turn around and do the same thing. Like, I didn't understand it. It did not make sense. They get into it. They start, at that point, Nick says F you. They start slinging F yous back and forth. And so finally Carlos comes over and is like, hey, don't talk to him. Talk to me. Talk to me. Look. From where I'm standing, it looked like you dropped out of school, buddy. Like, it looks like you dropped out. You ain't been showing up. And of course, they go back and forth for just a little second. Saucy does try to give it back to him. But like he says in his confessional, Carlos is like your old uncle. And when he talk, you just shut up. And whether you agree or not, you just shut up. And that's what he needed to do. Shut up. But what I did like about this is Saucy does, he calls out Carlos as well. He was like, hey, bro, you be walking off from these teachers, and you be walking off when you don't want to hear what people got to say. So, Carlos takes accountability and say, okay, so I'll do better. I'll continue to stay present. I'll make sure I show up, but you got to come to class too. He was like, I don't care if we got to come to the club next week. We're doing homework together as a group. I don't care if we got to come to the club with you to make sure, that's what we gonna do. He's like, but we gonna bring this work. Like, we gonna bring this work. So we gonna see what happens. Okay, we gonna see what happens. So they get ready and they go out, and the cast goes to meet up with they go out to this little bar and have drinks and hookah. They meet up with JR, who is at this time is Tamar's fiance. Again, I do not know the current status of their relationship. I promise y'all I thought that they were not together anymore. And then maybe a couple of days ago, she just posted something about him. So yeah, I don't know. Wish for thinking on my part, I guess. Oh no. So anywho, it's the next morning, right? So mind you, or let me pause. Before, while they're at the place, everybody's lit. They decide, they're like, okay, shoot, guys, we still have to write this bill. This bill is due tomorrow. We have to present it to the Congress tomorrow. And so they decide to leave, cut their night short and go home. The only one that stayed up is Claudia. She tried her best to push through and, come up with something, but everybody else went to bed. So she emails the professor that night and was like, we need more time. This is a lot or whatever. Just to kind of cover themselves. I do appreciate that she is really, really taking this serious. And I do think that was just it was a nice, respectful thing to do. Instead of just going in and wasting his time and the congressman's time. And I guess she is one with a lot of jobs that she knows about time and the importance of it. So yeah, nice little razzle dazzle there. But anywho, so it's the next morning. They are all up getting ready for class, and Saucy ain't going. Shocker, huh? Such a shocker. This is where he's talking about he waiting on production to bring him some Pepto Bismol. So yeah, this is the point where he's asking production to bring him some Pepto Bismol. Nick and Carlos even go into the room and try to get him to come to class, and he like, I'm coming. You know what I'm saying? He like, I'm coming. I'm coming. So Carlos is like, if we leave, are you gonna come to class? He's like, I'm coming. I'm coming. Child, whatever. Really, that's all I got to say about that is whatever. Um, Anywho, so they go to class, they leave him, they go to class, they go to their what is it, their psychology class, they learn about existentialism and their philosophies. I wasn't really interested in what they was talking about in them philosophies. I don't believe in this stuff that them philosophies ain't what I live by over here, that free, okay. I don't know. I don't know. Shit, I don't know. I do believe in free will. That is just not even something I even have the energy to get into right now. Needless to say, we will come back to it in episode 5, and I really give my thoughts on the whole what I believe or don't believe. It's just not something I can get into right now. So Saucy misses this class, but he does make it to the next class that they go to, which is their Converge Media class. And in this class, they are going to have to interview two lovely young ladies, and they are the former, sorry, I gotta look at my notes on this part. They are the former residents of the Lost Village or community of Fazanville. Sorry, I can't even read my own hair right. They are the former residents of the Lost Village community of Fazanville. And this community was established shortly after the Civil War, and then they made it into a thriving community, and that was until 1964 when the U.S. government wanted to take the land and make it into a national monument. or whatever. And basically, the families were given two options. You can either take the money and move away, or you could choose to stay, not take the money, and be forced to move away. So the two ladies that they interviewed were their families, were the last two families that were there. Um, you know, and they really, they talked about how the community was, originally, of course, it was rundown houses when it, first, when it was rundown houses and stuff, when everything first, they first purchased the houses and land and stuff, but over time they built up the community. It was really thriving. It was very family oriented. Family oriented. They felt very safe. But all in all, the lessons that they learned throughout of it is, home ownership is important. Don't ever let anyone come and take your land away from you. It's the start to generational wealth and things of that nature. Each of the house guests, they did really, really well. No shocker for Claudia or Carlos, because podcasting and hosting is what they do on a daily basis. So these were the two women that they were interviewing, and these are just some snippets of everyone. Let me go back to Claudia. Mind you, I told y'all they went out the night before, right? My girl looked like she went out. Nick is half asleep. Now, my boy went out, but he looked good. You know what I'm saying? Like, so they just let you know these young ones, they can bounce back after a night of partying, and us old people, takes us a minute. Really, really take a minute to bounce back. So that was that. So now they are going to it's their lunchtime. So these five decide to take their lunch, and they decide they want to at least come up with something for this bill. Like, they just don't, although Claudia told them, she did email the professor, they don't want to just walk into the room with nothing for the for him. So they go in and they decide to, try to come up with something. And then they get into their class, and the professor basically tells them, like, Claudia, I got your email, and because I got your email and y'all weren't prepared, you know what I'm saying, I canceled the Congress. And because I had to cancel the congressman, at this point, you all have a failing grade. It is what it is. He do believe in redemption and second chances, however, so he is giving them extra time to present their project. To present their projects. So they will have some extra time to, work on it, but he is expecting this to be, now I'm giving y'all some extra time. He is expecting this to be, a pretty good presentation here. You know what I'm saying? And I would too if I was a professor. So everybody is kind of, all right, wake up call. It's a wake up call. This is not a game. We got to do what we got to do. We need to knuckle and buckle down. And I'm good with that. So, but really, this is the meat and potatoes of the whole episode, really, because of course, my boy Saucy gotta be saucy. So the counselor goes over to talk to him. It's after class, and they're all just kind of like sitting around in the hall or whatever. And she is telling him that she wants to have a meeting with him and all of the professors. He's been absent from a few classes and stuff like that. So, they kind of just want to check in with him, see how they can help him. He is going back and forth with this lady. I only missed one class. I can't do that. She was like, well, let's just go over here and have a meeting. He's like, I can't do that. I got somewhere to go. I got somewhere to be. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. Like, expel him now. Just let him go. He don't want to show up. Let him go. Like, I'd have been like, all right, well, bye. and just been done with it. Like he wouldn't have had a chance to be going back and forth with me like that. Like, cause that's what you're not about to do. You here, I understand you getting a check, but you here needing something, a certificate from me. Like I have my degree, sir. You know, my life, I'm good. Nick comes over. He's like, "What's going on?" And this is where things go left. Sausages does the most. He gets up, he storms out. He's trying to get on the elevator. He's just like, "I need a minute. I need a minute." The production crew gets in the elevator. He getting out the elevator. He do not want to be on camera. Like he is diva drama times 10, 2.0, just team too much. He's doing team too much. And then you have the counselor just sitting out here looking like, so you coming or not? Because that's what I'm feeling like. So you doing all of this, but are you going to this meeting or not? Like really, that's the thing of, are you going to this meeting or no? Like when you're done with this temper tantrum and you done with your meetings that you need to yourself, you need to be off camera, you need to deprogram. Are you going to the meeting, sir? Okay, so you can hear what these people got to say to you. Get outside. Tamar's like, you need to change your demeanor, for her to have a conversation with you. And here you go. I did, but I was over there standing over there minding my business. I understand you was over there minding your business, but she had something that she needed to say to you. So she came over there and said it to you. You weren't around anybody. So it's not like she came over here trying to bust you out in front of anybody. She wasn't talking loud. She was talking to a very calm monotone voice and said, "Hey, I need to speak with you. You've been missing a couple of classes, and me and the professors would like to sit down, meet with you just to make sure you're gonna make it through this program." She ain't come over there on a rah rah. You the one got on rah rah. I ain't missing no class, blah blah blah. So look, shut up. Needless to say, he ain't go show up to this meeting. And it's like, so if you're not gonna go to the meeting, you're not gonna go to the classes, you're not gonna go to the field trips, what are you there for? You can afford to go to New Orleans on your own. And I'm sure you've been in New Orleans before. So what are we doing? What, did you go watch the last 2 seasons of College Hill Celebrity Edition and decided you wanted to be Ray J? I'm over him. It's one teacher in here, which is the African studies teacher and the teacher that they're gonna do the whole Mardi Gras thing with. She's like, I've never even seen him in my class. And I don't even think the psychology teacher has seen him, which I don't see the psychology teacher in his photo, but I don't even know if the psychology teacher hasn't even seen him. Like you have two professors that hadn't even seen you yet. You've only been to two classes, you've only been to one practice. What are you here for? Go home. Go home. Like I'm over him. The show itself is good. I'm enjoying learning the history and culture. That's always, you gonna always get me there. The political science class, of course. The philosophy class, we'll see. We'll see how the philosophy class really holds me in there. But the other classes, I'm all for, like, good topics, good everything. But Saucy, like, throw him away. Throw him away. Throw him away. Throw him away. I don't watch him on Love and Hip Hop, so I don't even know what he's giving over there, but I'm sure it's giving the same tantrums and princess and diva behavior for unknown reasons that probably only he knows to himself because he really think he is that girl. I mean, whatever, whatever. Anywho, y'all, that has been my review recap of College Hill season 3, Celebrity Edition season 3, episode 4. Yeah, I mean, it was good. I really enjoyed it, but yeah, anywho, don't forget to hit that like button on your way out and that subscribe button on your way out. Do your girl a favor. And if you have not seen any of my other College Hill recaps. They are on my channel. I am going to try and put them all in a playlist to make it really, really easy for you to get to. So yeah, once you get done checking this one out, if you have not checked any of the other ones out, go and check those out. If you are a Drag Race fan, go check out my Drag Race All-Star Season 9 recaps as well. And Big Brother is about to start, so I will be reviewing Big Brother. So if you are a Big Brother fan, make sure you come on back and check out and hear what your girl Shay, have to say. And until then, I will see you guys on the next one. Peace out.